Welcome to the Albizu Narvaez Political Commentary Report. Well, Happy New Year, right? 2022. 2021 was a blast. I'm not trying to be facetious, but I guess I am. 2021 was a horror, but we got through it. Here we are in 2022. And I wanted to jump in, start off the year about my beloved Puerto Rico and Dr. Pedro Luis Campos, but I want to segue to it. We'll address that in the next video, God willing. This January 6th anniversary of the insurrection was pretty horrific, and in reflecting upon it and watching the great President Joe Biden with his wonderful speech, finally attacking who needs to be attacked, was uplifting. But before I get into that, I want to. Someone passed away today. The great Sidney Poitier. There's a wonderful book you should all get, The Measure of a Man, a Spiritual Autobiography by Sidney Poitier. And I'm bringing it up only because he was one of my heroes, one of my acting heroes. And he broke the ground for a lot of people. Denzel and Will Smith would not be Denzel and Will Smith if it was not for Sidney Poitier, Academy Award winning actor. And I recommend you get the book. Rest in peace. So getting back to what's going on in the world, man, voting rights, voting rights, voting rights, and voting rights. The rest is conversation. I know if you watch my other videos, there's other topics I bring up. But what occurred to me as we said Happy New Year is that voting rights, voting rights, voting rights. That's it. Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, Schumer is finally saying, you know what? You want to say no, then say it on the record, on the Senate floor. Show the world what an ass you both really are. Sinema was silent, but Manchin had the audacity to say in an interview, oh, you know, the Senate rules, you know, if we bend those rules, it's like a heavy lift. You know, I'm so sick of listening to that guy. So I love that Schumer said, you know what, Martin Luther King, we're going to celebrate, and then we're going to have a vote. I think Senator Murkowski is going to come to this side, and maybe even Susan Collins might surprise us. And maybe even Portman, who's retiring. Those are the three. Look at those three Republicans. I would include Romney in that, but he has to have guts, and he's already proven that he doesn't have any guts. Because in the January 6th commemoration, pardon me, I love that Liz Cheney was there with her dad, and but Mitt Romney should have been there, because the police, we have a video that they saved his life that day, and he wasn't there, so he has no guts. So I'm not counting on Romney. But I'm looking at Murkowski, Susan Collins, and maybe even Portman, who's retiring, just in case Manchin and Sinema begin to fart in their pants rather than say yes to the filibuster rule change so that we can have voting rights. So we'll see. But now it's time. Voting rights, voting rights, voting rights. So Manchin, Sinema, you're going to go down in history as the male and female Strom Thurmond of the 21st century. You want that? Or are you going to be heroes? And then maybe we'll have a 53-47 vote, because maybe those three Republicans I'm mentioning might say, you know what, yeah, voting rights is key. Murkowski in Alaska knows it, Portman in Ohio knows it, and Collins in Maine know it. So we'll see. And Merrick Garland, man, you know, he's doing a great job. Excuse me. Perfect for the tea. But now, Neil Katyal, great former solicitor, he said something that hit home for me. If you listen to Merrick Garland's speech very carefully, and Lawrence Tribe, his professor from Harvard, both Mr. Tribe and Mr. Katyal pointed out something in Merrick Garland's speech the other day that scared everybody. It scared them, and now it's scaring me. There is no evidence that there's a criminal investigation towards the generals who planned this insurrection. And that's scary. If it's in the too political or too hard box, then Merrick Garland, you are going to be a disappointment. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that soon, before this month is out, there is evidence. And let me tell you why. This thing about secrecy, maybe it's happening, maybe it's not. I don't buy it, because the world is a sieve and everything leaks. And as soon as one of those generals, I call them generals, but they're really traitors, Bannon's, Giuliani, the lawyers, Meadows, as soon as they get called in front of a grand jury, they're gonna say that they're in front of a grand jury, especially Bannon, because he loves the glory of it. So that scares me. They're getting all the foot soldiers, all the corporals, all the privates, but not the colonels, not the majors, not the generals. Trump needs to be indicted. So I'm worried. If you listened to me last time, I was confident in Garland, but his last speech for Lawrence Tribe and Neil Katyal to raise that specter, well, boy, yeah. Merrick Garland, what's going on? Is the FBI investigating? Is somebody investigating? Is law enforcement investigating? Are they going to be grand jury? Because we would know, because we got great reporters out there that would pick it up, and we would know. We would know the details, and you can't talk about the details, but we would know that something is going on. So Garland, I'm putting you in the Manchin Sinema box, which is amazing. And I'm going to throw another one in there, Kavanaugh. There's still no abortion in Texas, and it's all about Kavanaugh. So if you look at what's going on in the world as we start this new year, not even talking about the Build Back Better, but Manchin, Sinema, Garland, Kavanaugh, they're going to determine whether or not we still have a democracy or we don't. So those four are in a box right now. They need to do their job. So let's see what happens with that vote. But it's voting rights, voting rights, voting rights. If I sound a little somber, I am. There's a lot more to talk about, but I just wanted to highlight that. Okay, a new year. You know the routine. If you like, dislike, comment, subscribe. And again, these will be a little bit more frequent. The holiday season's over. Some other obstacles, it's all over. Now let's get going. Let's see what happens. Voting rights, voting rights, voting rights. Okay, adios.